Married at First Sight, Season 14, Episode 15, and this video is for Katina and Olajuwon. I've done videos on each couple and the after party. So at the end of this video, be sure to look here. You can click on the next video and move on to the other videos of the other couples and the after party. But let's get into this Olajuwon and Katina, because we finally went deep on Olajuwon and we learned a lot more on where his problems are coming from. First of all, we learned that one of the two differences between Olajuwon and Katina is that Olajuwon grew up tough and rough, and Katina grew up in more of a stable environment, maybe in the suburbs, as Olajuwon says, with 5 bedrooms and 2 baths. And Olajuwon was living on the back porch with his friends, and he grew up in the projects. That right there kind of tells you also how Olajuwon relates to Katina. Because you know what? When you have someone that grew up in a tough neighborhood and you have someone that grew up in a more stable and middle-class family, you tend to believe that the middle-class person is too soft and they're not going to be able to make it through hard times. And you know what we've seen oftentimes through this season, where Olajuwon believes that Katina needs to toughen up. And that might need to come, and that probably is coming from the fact the way he grew up. I'm not saying that Olajuwon is right, but at least now we know where it's coming from. All this stuff Olajuwon used to talk about, does Katina have life skills? Like, has Katina been through enough? Almost like, can she survive out here in this world? You know, this is all coming from this childhood with Olajuwon, where everybody had to look out for themselves, take care of themselves, scrap through life, be scrappy in life to make it ahead. And although that's his past, he can't be looking down on Katina because that wasn't Katina's past. Katina hasn't had that hard knock life. So Olajuwon is wondering, is Katina built for this life? Is Katina built on where they need to go? Is Katina going to be tough enough? Is she going to be able to handle the load? And we already see Katina look like she wearing out. I know I got bags under my eyes, but I'm a lot older than Katina, and Katina looks tired. But Olajuwon is sounding the alarm, and I know a lot of you don't like Olajuwon, but you know what I like about Olajuwon? He speaks the truth, whether you want to hear it or not, whether it feels good to your soul, listen to the words, whether the truth hurts too much. He speaks the truth. And what he is saying is the plan that Katina laid out is a lot. It's a lot for anybody. And what he's saying is, you already look tired right now, Katina, and all you've done is get married. Are you really built for this life you laying out? And I'm going to say no. I think Katina is thinking she can do a lot more than she can do. I'm also saying Katina shouldn't try to do all those things. And I'm also saying women need to stop believing they can do all these things at one time. So here you have a newlywed couple. And I'm talking about not just a newlywed. You talk about married at first sight, strangers. And what Katina is laying out to do in the first 5 years of her marriage, she's talking about meeting a man, marrying a man as a stranger, going back to school, finishing a bachelor's degree, then going to nursing school on top of that, starting a new job or internship as a nurse, having a baby, traveling, having self-care, and starting a new job. And Olajuwon says, how the hell are you going to do all this in 2 years and have a husband? I'm with you, Olajuwon. This shit is crazy. And you know what, people? Don't be shooting the messenger who is Olajuwon. You need to look at the message. And the message he's saying is right on point. It's way too much. And what he's afraid of, the reason he's doing all this crying is because what he's saying is, if he were in Katina's shoes, and he know what he said he would do? He would choose school and his job over marriage. And you know what? Men do it all the time. All you women out there dating men, wondering why he ain't asked you to marry him, because he says he wants to be more stable. He wants to finish school. He wants to go to school. He wants to get more established in his career. What Olajuwon is saying is what all men tell women. I'm not ready to get married because I still have some goals I want to reach first before marriage. And what Olajuwon is saying, Katina has some very fundamental goals she wants for herself, which is finishing school, going to nursing school, is becoming a nurse. And what he's saying is he doesn't want to rob her of that. And he's crying because he loves Katina. But what he's afraid of is, what will Katina choose? Will Katina choose her career, her goals, all of that over him? Because what he's saying is he don't want to be fifth in line. And I ain't mad at him. I wouldn't want to be fifth in line either, Olajuwon. I sure wouldn't. I'm going to tell you now, if my husband had proposed to me and said, hey, let's get married, but in the first 5 years of our marriage, I'm going to go back to school, I'm going to do an internship, I'm going to become a nurse, then I'm going to go out and maybe adopt a baby because he can't have no baby. I'm going to adopt a baby, and I'm going to do all this in the first 5 years of our marriage. I too be saying hell to the no, because I'm not coming fifth in line. This is why a lot of marriages fail, because people put too much on their plate. People do not understand how much work marriage is, period. Period. Kids are a lot of work. All these things take work and time. And I'm with Olajuwon. It is too much for Katina to take on. We think her bags are big now. If she took on this, her bags might be down to the floor. And we all know that Olajuwon is a lot of work. But I'm going to tell you, whether it was Olajuwon or another man, it is still a lot for Katina to take on. And what Olajuwon is saying, that when you love someone, you don't just look out for yourself. You look out for the other person. And I agree with him. And what he's actually saying to Katina is, maybe you need to choose something different from me. Because you know what? This is too much. I like that both Katina and Olajuwon grew up in the church, or they have a connection to the church, and that they have a level of faith that helps ground them. And even Katina said faith gives her a level of peace. But you know what? She actually needs to listen to Olajuwon in this area. She's got some tough decisions to make. But you know what? Katina is going to have to give up something, one of these elements. She is going to have to give up something and defer it to later. And I'm going to tell you what's not going to wait. Her eggs and her ovaries are not going to wait. I think Katina needs to postpone finishing school. I think she needs to stay in the job that she's in. And if she wants to have kids, she better start working on her marriage and traveling in the first couple of years, establish a strong foundation with her husband, go ahead and have her babies, and then look to go back to school later on in life. I know a lot of women don't agree with that, but I'm going to tell you something. People are working well into their 60s and their 70s. But you know what ain't going to wait? Your uterus and your ovaries. You only get so much time to have a baby. But you know what? You can go to school at any time, and you can have a career at any time. Katina is probably going to need to choose her marriage over school and nursing. I hate to say it. I really hate to say it, but I think she's going to have to do it. And all these people saying she could do all things at one time, a lot of people do all those things at one time. But are they happy? Are they mentally well? That's what you need to ask yourself. Not if you can do it, but can you get through it mentally healthy and physically healthy? And it isn't. A lot of people are run down out here in the world trying to do way too many things at once, trying to prove to the world that they're superwomen and they can do all those things. I don't prescribe to that lifestyle. Not at all. I hope they work it out. And you know, even though I don't like the way that Olajuwon always delivers his messages, I'm able to sift through his delivery and look at the content and the context of what he's talking about. And you know what? Olajuwon is on point with this. And what he's also saying is, he doesn't want to be the one that gets sacrificed by all of this. He doesn't want to come in last place. And we all know that if you have a job, a new baby, and school, that man will be last place. That's it, y'all. Check out my videos on the other couples. I'm going to leave a link here. You can click on it and go on to the next couple. Talk to you later. Bye.